Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Roddy again, and as you can see, right now, I'm practicing my English, but I'm relaxing at the same time. You see, I think that relaxation is necessary too. You know, in modern society, particularly in schools and in workplaces, we are in a way taught and conditioned and trained to rush in the present while focusing on the future. When you are given a deadline or a schedule, your mind is always in a future time that fundamentally doesn't exist, and then you rush in the present to get to the future that again doesn't exist. So your mind is agitated and you feel stressed, and then you get exhausted and burn out. And then when you get home, you set yourself some time to do some things, and you think, oh, at this particular time I'm going to bed because I need to go to work tomorrow. So you have a mind that's always future oriented, and so you cannot really just enjoy and really perceive and appreciate the present moment. And I think this happens in the learning process too. Many language learners nowadays think something like how to master this, right? How to master grammar, how to master pronunciation. And then they have this imagined future where they are a master of, let's say grammar or pronunciation. And then they keep going in the present while having that in the future. And then they burn out. They don't enjoy the process. They burn themselves out while doing what they're doing. And so they punish themselves, torture themselves, and they don't enjoy the present moment. They don't enjoy the process. They don't really learn in an enjoyable way, and so they give up and they make excuses and say things like, it's the fault of my teacher, or my teacher has deceived me, or English is not for me, or English is for intelligent people. Oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I'm a moron, or whatever. Something or someone has to be blamed. When, in fact, I think that it has to do with our mindset, which is not, in a way, which is not, I think, not our fault, at least entirely, because again, in schools, at least in my experience, we are conditioned and taught to focus on the future. Why do you go to school? Not to enjoy. They tell you to go to school to learn for the future. For your future. Okay? It's not to learn to enjoy. No, it's to learn for the future. But nobody really feels the future. Like, how do you verify 15 years from now? Like, how do you make your son or your daughter understand what 15 years what 15 years from now is actually like? You don't even know it. We don't get to verify it. We can only theorize, but theory is not really experience. It's not something that we feel. It's not something that we can really perceive. And so nobody enjoys the process. People, children go to school not because it's fun, but because they have to. And when they go to school, it's only fun because, well, the classmates and the friends and the playmates are there. But when the teacher comes into the classroom, they think, oh, no, here we go again. Math again. Literature again. History again. Science again. It's not fun. Because, everyone is just, conditioned and indoctrinated and just, told to focus on the future that doesn't exist. And then they're also told to focus on their studies. Like, which one do you really focus on, the future or your studies? Not to mention that the textbooks are boring, of course. So relaxation is important, really. When we relax, we just get to be. When you get to that, when you are in that to be state, if you will, it's just amazing. There is no past, there is no future. It just is, and it's relaxing, it's liberating. Okay. That I think that's even the reason why when we play games, especially fighting games, at least in my experience, you just enjoy it because it really shows you to live in the present. So especially Tekken. You live in the present in Tekken. You can't, imagine a future where, while you're playing, okay, at least while you're playing, you can't imagine the end of the third round where you win. It doesn't exist. What matters is something is happening. You're attacking, or maybe you're getting attacked, and you're doing something, right? Or you have to do something, okay? So, that's how important it is to relax and practice relaxation, really. So, even the act of drinking coffee is, for me, a form of relaxation, but I think that it depends on how you do it, really. When you rush, when you do things fast, then something's, I wouldn't say wrong, but if you want relaxation, you don't rush things out. No. The reason why old games were so enjoyable and still are enjoyable is because they don't rush us out. Okay, at least rarely, if ever, in my opinion. But it really doesn't. At least the old games. The new games, I'm not really sure. I'm told that there is this constant ranking, comparisons, and those things that kind of make you rush and grind. And so games are supposed to be fun. So yeah, to me, old games are the best. Okay, thank you very much.